It is midnight and all is quiet in the Joestar familial home. Not a creature is stirring, not even a mouse. Suddenly JoJo awakens and screams. No, nocturnal emissions again. This was the third night in a row that this happened. Something had to be done with his insanely high sperm count. He was running out of bed sheets. Suddenly a thought entered his head. If I can't have the girl of my dreams, at least I can score some hot dick. Throughout the surrounding lands, there was one man whose dick knew no bounds. Dio, his arch-rival, his adopted brother. Good thing we sleep in the same house, JoJo thought to himself. JoJo tiptoed down to Dio's room with his diamond hard rod in his offhand. His heart was pounding in his chest as the reality of the situation dawned on him. Creeping through the darkened estate like a chink through the rice fields, Jonathan approached Dio's door. He turned the doorknob Jewishly. As the expensive mahogany door creakily swung forward in its frame, all of the blood in Jonathan's beefy body flooded straight into his bulging meat cannon, like hipsters flooding into gentrified neighborhoods. Dio's sleeping naked body was clearly visible on his California king-sized bed. Dio's penis was visibly erect, like a monolith rising from the desert, as tall and proud as a flagpole over a 9/11 memorial. JoJo silently approached Dio's 17-inch long boner with increasing arousal, losing control over his thoughts and motor functions, completely overtaken with feverish lust. Suddenly he lost all control and busted his magma hot load upon Dio's sleeping face, like Mount Vesuvius on the Pompeii countryside. Dio awoke, his face covered in sticky love syrup, like a gay pancake.
JoJo, I was just dreaming about you and your sizable dick.
Then how about we make like John Cena and a kid with terminal cancer and turn those dreams into reality, replied JoJo. Dio's many muscles rippled in excitement. Have you been lifting?
Gotta get big, gotta stay big.
Then how about you open up for your protein supplement? Dio's big blowjob lips closed around the head of JoJo's poker. His negrotic mouth moved up and down on the large wiener before him. JoJo groaned. Yee, now that's how a man sucks dick. Suddenly, Dio's jaws unhinged like a snake as he choked down all 15 inches of JoJo's impressive, throbbing, veiny schlong. This was better head than he had ever received. Dio truly was the UPS of giving head, impressive in his handling of JoJo's package. Every thrust of JoJo's dick down Dio's well-exercised esophagus, calloused over years of deep-throating popsicles, caused waves of pre-cum to be sprayed across the room like a sprinkler. Given the enormity of JoJo's member, Dio began running his hands over the shaft as though he were an Amish craftsman polishing the leg of a freshly made table, set to be sold at an incredible markup to tourists in order to keep his community schools well-funded. Dio's hard work was paying off. The muscles in JoJo's well-toned butt cheeks contracted as his lips pursed and his eyes rolled back into his skull. His one-eyed trouser snake let go a load so powerful it reached escape velocity and flew off into space, escaping the galaxy, serving as testament to humanity's prowess and Dio's finesse. Boy, I sure needed that, exclaimed JoJo, having just propelled enough protein out of his dick hole to feed the entirety of Tunisia for 3 days. 11 million people worth of protein. Dio glared at JoJo.
Listen up, sonny boy. You'd better not be thinking of nutting and running. Daddy needs to glaze some donuts. You'll be the crispy to my cream.
Suddenly Dio lurched forward and pinned JoJo down to the bed. JoJo struggled at first, but even though he was built like a boulder of poor muscle, he was but a tiny twink compared to Dio. Dio turned JoJo around and stuck his love gun into JoJo's ready bunghole.
Daddy Dio is going to hump your rump,
he grunted as he experienced the pure ecstasy of his adopted brother's taut anus. He seized JoJo's anal virginity like Putin seized Crimea, but JoJo, much like Ukraine's oppressed Russian minority, took to this advance with open arms. This is hotter than that one time when you put my dog in the furnace, moaned JoJo.
I should call you JoJo Brown Star, because your ass is heavenly,
replied Dio. Dio began pounding JoJo with a renewed vigor, increasing in speed and power, the mere friction causing JoJo's butthole to burn brighter than a shirtless 300-pound white man on a hot summer beach. His thick cock sounded like a jackhammer destroying a concrete sidewalk. "You're destroying my organs with your dick," yelled JoJo in intense pleasure.
"The only organ you need is my dick,"
screamed Dio in reply. Suddenly the floorboards gave way underneath the two lovers, as the architects of the Joestar family home did not factor hulkish anal sex into the load capacity of the floors. When they landed, JoJo was momentarily knocked free of his lover's embrace. Right before Dio reached climax, Dio's frothy load was launched straight on the ancient stone mask hanging from the wall, which fell from its display and landed square on Dio's chiseled face. "Ah!" yelled Dio as the mask's ancient jizz magic transformed him into an immortal vampire of pure sexual lust. Dio sprouted penises from his mouth where fangs would normally form, and his already inhumanly large penis doubled in size and girth. Overcome with insatiable horniness, he ran out into the night, as JoJo lay helpless on the ground writhing in intoxicating pleasure, his anus the size of a manhole cover. To be continued.